Destroyer HMS Defender provides the firepower and leading-edge technology, while 6 of the smallest craft in the Royal Navy's inventory, HMS Archer, HMS Charger, HMS Explorer, HMS Exploit, HMS Ranger and HMS Smiter, provide the speed, agility and numbers to swarm around participants in Baltops 22. Celebrating its 50th anniversary in 2022, Baltic Operations tests the ability of NATO and its partner nations to safeguard the region and maintain freedom and security of sea lanes. This year 16 nations are due to take part in the 10-day exercise, committing more than 45 ships, 75 aircraft and 7,000 military personnel, which is hosted by Sweden and begins tomorrow. To demonstrate their swarm credentials, the P2000 boats of the Coastal Forces Squadron subjected Defender plus Lithuanian, Latvian and Norwegian ships, all joint expeditionary force partner nations, to concerted attacks. Similar swarm attacks will be the Coastal Forces vessels' party trick when Baltops moves into dynamic phase. The exercise forms the crux of a 2-month deployment by the half-dozen P2000s, the first time the squadron has been able to visit the continent since the pandemic. In the past few years, the Royal Navy Small Boat Flotilla has been transformed, its old name of 1st Patrol Boat Squadron replaced by the historic Coastal Forces Squadron, its role shifting from giving undergraduates a taste of life with University Royal Navy units to frontline operational roles, such as protecting Gibraltar's territorial waters, helping train NATO ships for missions and patrolling home waters is required. The boats are normally crewed by a corps of 5 sailors, but have welcomed an eclectic mix of additional crew aboard for the Baltic mission. The sextet have embarked an array of trainee warfare officers, some in the early stages of their education, others about to be tested to become qualified officers of the watch. Despite a P2000 size, the principles of watchkeeping are exactly the same as on a frigate, carrier and even submarine. Their size also allows visits to ports not called at by larger warships, which means crew do not have the detailed navigation information available for those bigger harbors, while the ability to understand a chart and visualize it in real life is a skill which takes time. The boats also need no help with tugs, so trainees can practice berthing and casting off. As with navigation, the principles are the same, only the scale is different from a frigate or destroyer. Also earning their spurs are a small group of weapons engineers who've joined the deployment while waiting for their first major assignments. With no weapons engineering department on such a small craft, they've joined in general engineering and seamanship duties, something they will rarely get to do. This deployment marks the end of months of planning, allowing us to deploy and engage with multiple navies, said Lieutenant Martin Head, in command of HMS Exploit. There have been some fantastic and rewarding days, such as training with our joint expeditionary force partners, allowing us to improve our capability together, and fantastically warm welcomes in some truly fantastic cities, Antwerp, The Hague, Hamburg, Copenhagen. All 6 boats have embarked students from University Royal Naval units for longer exposure to life at sea. They're responsible for defense engagement during some of the port visits, ordering food supplies, helping out on the upper deck and, as they grow in confidence, taking the helm. And for the first time a dedicated chef has joined for the deployment with CS Adams has from minehunter HMS Ledbury loaned to Exploit. Traditionally, the executive officer cooks for his or her shipmates on a P2000. The addition of a chef frees them up for planning and watchkeeping, and the top-notch meals served up is a boost to morale. Another novelty for this deployment is the presence of a mobile workshop to meet the 6 vessels' engineering needs, a container strapped to a trailer hauled by an HGV. It joined the 6 boats in Warnemünde, northeast Germany, to support their mid-deployment short maintenance spell ahead of Baltops. HMS Defender is serving as the flagship of Task Force 6-4 of the United States 6th Fleet, which deals in defending against attacks by missiles and fighter jets. The Type 45 destroyer has powerful, cutting-edge sensors and Sea Viper missiles that counter threats and can knock moving targets out of the sky from up to 70 miles away, making her well-suited to duties at the spearhead of the Specialist Task Group. The Task Force 6-4 commander, Commodore Jonathan Lips of the United States Navy, and his staff are on board HMS Defender to command the group, which is made up of American, Swedish, Finnish and Lithuanian warships, as Baltops 22 begins. HMS Defender's commanding officer, Commander George Staunton, said, "It is an honor to have an opportunity to work with allies and partners during Baltops. In the last 12 months, HMS Defender has conducted global operations highlighting our readiness to work with international partners from the South China Sea to the Arctic. Baltops allows us to build on the firm foundation of strategic relationships and to further develop and demonstrate the ability for our ships and sailors to operate in a multi-threat environment while affirming our commitment to NATO and key alliances. Defender is a world-leading air defense ship and will represent the Royal Navy with pride and dedication throughout the exercise, highlighting the UK's continued commitment to maritime alliances and operations. HMS Defender leads the United States Navy's USS Porter and USNSW McLean, Sweden's HSWMS Nyköping and HSWMS Helsingborg, plus Lithuania's LNS Dukas and Finland's FNS Uusimaa in her Task Force 6-4 role. NATO partner Sweden hosts the 50th edition of Baltops to coincide with the 500th anniversary of their navy. The workout includes exercises in amphibious warfare, gunnery, anti-air, anti-submarine, mine hunting and explosive ordnance disposal, dealing with mass casualties and working with drones and other uncrewed vehicles. The naval elements of Baltops gathered in Stockholm before heading into the Baltic and sailing in formation at the start of 10 days of exercises. Working alongside our allies allows us to learn from each other and integrate faster in the future, Defender's Air Warfare Officer, Lieutenant Commander Martin Harris. Our presence demonstrates the commitments of the UK to the security and stability of the Baltic region and safety of our allies and neighbours. HMS Defender comes fresh into Baltops after intensive exercises as the lead warship of a joint expeditionary force task group. The exercises were designed to test the Allied forces' reactions to fast attack craft coming from all angles and improve their ability to work seamlessly together. Ahead of Baltops, Defender headed to Stockholm, where the ship marked the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, welcoming the British Ambassador to Sweden and Fleet Commander Vice Admiral Andrew Burns, who awarded Jubilee medals to the ship's company.